Hi everyone, my name is Melissa.
And my name is Stephanie Karkache, and we are two sisters and the founders of Millennial Women.
And your host of Millennial Women Talk, the podcast, the #1 podcast for millennial women looking to elevate their lives, mind, body, and soul.
We are so excited to introduce to you today's guest, Janelle Friedman. Janelle is known as a hardworking mother, author, business owner, civic leader, philanthropist, and inventor. She is the COO and CFO of one of the most prestigious law firms in Texas. She's the founder of Essential Energy, a group of approximately 600 professional female business leaders that meet several times a year to network and exchange ideas and opportunities.
She is also the author of You're Invited, created the Kiss My Lash mirror, and founded GoodJanes, a natural skincare line. And on top of all of that, she's a loving mother of 6 and a wife. Talk about having it all. We are so excited to introduce you to this incredible woman, Janelle Friedman. Welcome to our show, Janelle.
Thank you so much. That's such an honor, and what a great introduction. Thank you so much for putting it all out there. I appreciate it.
You're an incredible woman, that's for sure. You know, I think a lot of us women today, we get stuck with this idea and thought that we can only be one thing in life. And I think more and more people are realizing that it's okay to want to start a family and a business, for example, and that we don't have to be limited to playing one certain role in life.
Right.
Was the idea of having all of this and being able to accomplish all the things that you have, was that something that you envisioned for yourself as a young child?
I don't know if I envisioned having so many children. They just came. But, when I was younger, I always knew that I wanted to make something of myself. And from a young age, my father was an entrepreneur. He had the largest cap and emblem company in the nation. And I worked at his company. Starting at like 12 years old, I was answering phones. And for me, it was fun, and I loved being around business. I loved the entrepreneurship. And I always knew that I wanted to do something on my own and do a lot of different things. When my kids were younger, I did feel like I was on a hamster wheel a lot of times. And I think a lot of women feel that way. I hear that all the time, that it's so hard to have kids and to work. And it is. There's no question about it. It is very hard. And at some of the times I felt like I wasn't doing perfect at either one, because you're so torn as a mom. But you know what? They make it and you make it, and it life goes on. It works.
Yeah.
And so I feel like every mom out there that is a working mom, don't give yourself the guilt, because the kids do grow up and they do find their way. And a great example is to be, a hard worker and do a great job. And it's a great example for kids.
Absolutely.
I love that you're
Did
saying
I
that
answer
about.
your question?
Yeah,
Yes.
totally. And it really makes me think so much of our community. Millennial women, we spend, pretty much a lot of different age groups, but a lot of us are becoming new moms or have been already moms. And that is a question that comes to us a lot, because we have incredible women like you that have paved the road, for us. And we see you guys as examples. Our mother is also like amazing. She's accomplished so much
Right.
as well. And we kind of look up to you guys and like, oh my God, how did you do it? Right. And I think you mentioned before that you're an expert in balancing it all, because ultimately everything always falls into like balance, right? Can you tell us like your secrets in balancing it out? Like any practical advice, any apps you're using? Like, how do you balance it all?
Well, for me, and this might not work for everybody, but for me, my balance is really health. And I find that if I'm healthy, everything around me works. So I make sure I exercise every single day. I make sure I eat healthy. I'm really probably crazy on, what food I intake. I eat very healthy. I try and eat organic. My home is very healthy. So for me, having health is my balance. Once I have that, you can really do anything.
That's
Mm.
so good.
So I
That's
don't,
good advice.
I know it really, I mean, if you think about it, you can put your mind to anything you want to do as long as you have goals and you set those goals. But if you don't have your health, you can't do anything.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
balancing for me is keeping my health, keeping healthy.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because I feel like our generation is very multi passionate. I mean, we certainly are multi passionate
Yes.
people like yourself and do a lot of different things. But I have to say, sometimes Steph and I look at each other and we're like really overwhelmed, and we don't even have kids yet. We just have a dog. Well, she has a dog and I have a dog. So I can't even imagine with children. But I would love to know, like, do you organize yourself a certain way? Like, how do you like time manage everything? I mean, it's
Right.
impressive what you've been able to do.
As a woman, y'all know we can do more than one thing.
We
Men
could.
can't. So we are really good at doing more than one thing because we have to.
Right.
And I think my organizational skills are really great. And what I do every single day before I go to bed is I make a list of everything that has to be done, including calendaring. So I calendar everything I have to do on my calendar, and then I transfer it to a list. And I get through that list every single day. I cross it off. I actually manually do it. I cross
Wow.
it off, and anything I don't finish will go to the top of the list the next day. And my kids, they laugh at me a lot of times because I will email myself notes. Like if we're driving and I think of something, I'll give my phone to my daughter and say, "Hey, email me this. I got to do this tomorrow." So it's on the top, and that goes on my list at night. So they laugh at me
Mm,
because who emails themselves? But I do that. So I think being organized and keeping your calendar, keeping your list, I think it really helps you get everything done that you need to do every day.
I
That's
love
so
that.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, even just writing it out, like
Right.
I've started implementing that for myself, like actually
Right.
writing out my task list, just because that, like, I'll see it in my calendar, but writing it out is something I feel like you can grasp it better than just like
Well,
seeing it.
that's exactly it. I take my calendar and I write the list out every night because then it's on my mind and I know when I get up, I can start crossing those. And some of them are phone calls. And while you're getting dressed, you can put it on speaker, and make those phone
Right.
calls and get those
Right.
over with. So,
Right.
yeah, I think the lists are really important and really
Yeah,
help.
I
I
love
love
that.
that.
It's an old, yeah, it's an old way to do things, but I think it works.
Absolutely. We need to start
Yes.
making some lists. um, so obviously, everybody sees you now. You're well accomplished and you've lived a fantastic life, but we know that life is a journey, and it's important
Right.
for us to talk about the hard times that can arise in life. And especially on the
Right.
show, we like to do that and help our community overcome their challenges. But can you speak on maybe like what was the biggest challenge that you faced in your life and how did you overcome that?
So, I don't think there's a person or soul out there that doesn't have challenges. And
Right.
so when you look at my life, and oh, I wish I had your life, or I wish I could do that, or I wish I could do that. Everybody has challenges, and I've certainly overcome as many as anybody else. I think, if I look back at all the challenges, there's been a lot, and I've overcome them by communication with whomever or whatever needs to be done. But I think right now in our day, I think getting through COVID is one of the most challenging things we could ever go through. I find just getting my office through COVID,
Right.
being COVID compliant, making sure everybody's safe. I mean, it's just unbearable the things that we have to go to make money to survive. And everybody's going through it. And
Yeah.
it's really difficult. I think this is probably one of the most challenging times as a business owner.
Right.
Not personally. I think personally it is challenging, but I've had more challenging things to get through. But for as a business owner and as a businesswoman, um, keeping my staff healthy and making sure everybody is healthy and still making money is very challenging.
Yeah.
With GoodJanes, my skincare line, we had all these orders for retail in place last January, February that were going to go in the spring. And then COVID hit and all of our orders were taken away for
Wow.
retail. And because they didn't want to, put new product in the stores. And so we had to think quickly. I didn't want to be one of those businesses that was out of business.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot of money putting this business together. I spent a lot of time putting this business together, and I didn't want to lose it. So, I had to really think out of the box and what to do. And I revamped our website, which did cost us money, but we revamped it. And we hired a social media team, which they're amazing, and our PR team, and our you know, sales on web is really keeping us afloat right now.
That's
So,
awesome. That's
you have to
amazing.
think out of the box, do things that, are out of the ordinary, maybe that you wouldn't do, but we're doing those things to keep the business alive.
Wow.
Right.
Do you find that I sometimes feel like putting yourself in a leadership position. So like I'm hearing you speak about, you're so focused on your team and keeping them healthy, for instance, and surviving as a business. It's like you're so focused on everything outside of you that I think I might be wrong, but I would love to know your opinion. Is that kind of like keeping you outside from all the maybe anxiety or anything that you might be feeling inside because you're so focused on outside, like being the leader? um what are your thoughts on that, like on leadership and your experience with that?
You know, I've never been really an anxious person, um, but I do worry about other people a lot. And I think that's from having so many kids because I'm always worried
Right.
about my kids.
Right.
But I do worry, and I certainly don't want to get sick. So why would I want someone
Right.
else to be sick? And
Right.
I care about the people that work with me. I love them. I mean, they're part of my family. We work so close, together that they become your family. And I mean, I still have people that have worked for me 28 years, 29 years that are still with me. And that's because we love each other. We have a lot of respect for each other. And I don't want them to suffer. I don't want them to have problems in their family life or,
Right.
recently we had a death in our office that was not due to COVID. And this woman has worked for us for 15 years, and it was
Wow.
devastating,
Wow.
really devastating. So I'm not really an anxious person to answer your question, but for those that are, I think if you focus on other things rather than yourself, like you said, I think that's a
Right.
great suggestion. It helps with the anxiety.
Yeah. I love that.
I'm
That's
not a
very
doctor, but
helpful.
that would, yeah, that I think
Right.
that would
Right.
be helpful to do.
But
Yeah.
it's such a fresh perspective, the way that you framed it. And I think that will help a lot of people for sure. I think a lot of our generation too has come to us, and I think, I don't know, like they feel a little bit of guilt or shame for certain things. But, how can
Yeah.
women proactively take off the limitations that we place on ourselves and give ourselves the freedom to pursue whatever it is that we desire without any guilt or shame?
I am a mother, and I think guilt, comes with that. I
Right.
just don't know any way around it. I always had that guilt. Looking back, It was so stupid. You know, it's a
Mhm.
waste of energy because um, your kids respect you more, I think, and they learn. I mean, every single one of my kids, 6 of them, can support themselves.
That's
And
amazing.
that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, we educated them, but they did it themselves. And I think they respect you more. So I know as a young mom, I didn't know that because I didn't have anything to compare it to as far as children. But now looking back, I know it with certainty that you should not give yourself the guilt because they will respect you more.
I love that. I think that's going to help so many women right now that are listening, that might be feeling
Yeah.
that guilt or shame because I mean, I'm not a mom yet, but I love hearing your words. I mean, it's tried and true. You have 6 kids. They're all successful in their own rights. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well
Well
done.
done.
It's true. You know, I can pat myself on the back on that one because they really are successful and great. But
Yeah.
part of that is because my husband and I worked hard, and I really felt
Mhm.
like they saw that. I saw that in my father,
Mhm.
and I always wanted that for myself. So, you know, I really do feel like don't waste your energy on the guilt.
Right.
That's some good advice. We often, get told, whether it be from articles or society or even sometimes within ourselves, that women can't have it all. What are your thoughts on this? Because you seem to have it all. So I want you to name it and claim it for everyone who is listening. Can women really have it all?
So, you know, oh, years ago, I used to do this speech that, you know, groups would ask me to come speak on having it all. And when they said that to me, I'm like, How am I going to talk on having it all? I don't even know what that means, you know? And
Right.
putting the speech together, I realized because I'm a person that you give me an assignment or you give me a task, I'm going to figure out how to do it. I'm not going to say I can't do it. So putting the speech together, I realized that everybody's having it all is different. So
Mm,
my having it all, you know, meant my family, my job, my, you know, career, travel, whatever it is, that was my having it all, but it might not be yours.
Mhm.
So for everybody out there listening, whatever your having it all means, write it down, set your goals, and get it, you know, because it's out there to get and you can do it. But I really think it's a personal, you know, scenario of what you want to have. Does
Absolutely.
that make
I love that.
sense?
Yes,
totally.
definitely it does. So tell us a little bit about GoodJanes. How did that idea come to be, and why did you start the line?
So when my husband and I were married and we had all these kids, we decided that we wanted to educate them. And I was working for another law firm at the time. And he said, You know, you're working for my competitor, come work with me. And so I did. And we decided that we wanted to, you know, spend our time together raising our children and building this business of a law firm. And we did that, but it was never really my passion. It was his
Mhm.
passion. But my passion was raising my children.
Right.
So we did that together, you know, 30 something years. And
Wow.
when my last child went to college, which was 10 or 11 years ago, I thought now's the time I want to do something for that's mine and that's my passion. And I've always loved beauty. I've always loved going into Ulta or Sephora and going down
Yes.
every aisle. Believe me, I've tried every item. is to
So
try.
good.
We can relate.
Those testers are everything.
Yeah, I mean, every woman can. We love beauty. We love it.
Yes.
And so the thing that I felt was missing was healthy products that were luxurious. You can find healthy products, but they're not comparable to, a really great product that's out there that's really expensive. So I don't want to say names because that's not who I am, but take any of the top brand names. I'm not talking about CVS brands. I'm talking about Neiman Marcus, Bergdorf. I'm talking about those kind of
Right.
brands that are in those stores. I wanted to create something that was naturally derived, but was that just as luxurious as the products in Neiman Marcus, but for an affordable price. And so we did that. It took us 5 years to create the line,
Wow.
and we have a beautiful line. I mean, once you try this line, you don't want to try anything else because it feels so good. It works great. And every product that we have, except for one, is under $50. So
Wow.
the price point is so great, and it's just wonderful. I went into a store recently in California to try and sell my product, and my products have stem cells from fruit, vegetable, and plant, and
Interesting.
it's all derived from that. And she said, "Oh, well, we have a product that's like that." I said, "Yeah, but how much are they?" And she said, "Oh, it's about $400 a jar." And I said, "Well,
Wow.
there you go. This is the
Yep.
difference." So,
Right.
um, you know, everybody that tries the products, they love them. They work. I have been using them now for 7 years, and
Wow.
I love the products. And girl, if you guys, after the show, give me your addresses, I'll send you some, and you can try them because you will
Oh
love
my
them.
gosh.
Don't tempt us. We love products.
We love products.
I know.
And honestly, you look flawless.
Yeah.
So whatever you're using, we want to use.
Thank you. So that kind of started the skincare line. And then with the Kiss My Lash mirror, I don't know if you got a chance to look at that, but
Yes.
it's a three-dimensional mirror that you look in and you can see to put on your own lashes.
So
And I
good.
just created that in my bathroom.
Oh
And
my
it's
gosh.
just, yeah, everybody just goes crazy over it because, who can put on their own lashes? I mean, mine are up here or down here.
Yeah.
I mean, they're never on where they're supposed to be, and the mirror really
Exactly.
helps you see. Yeah.
I just
That
love
is
that
so
every
awesome.
idea that comes to your mind, you execute on it because every good business solves a problem, right? And so you say, you know what? If I'm facing this challenge, other people must be too. Let's fix the problem. And you go full force on that. And that's really admirable because I feel like sometimes women could hold themselves back from maybe an idea or thought that they have and say, oh,
Right.
maybe I don't have the money to do it or the connections or whatever. What would be the biggest advice that you would give an ambitious woman today who's listening right now that may have all these ideas and is afraid to act on it?
Yeah, I think the best advice I could give women is, first of all, set your goals. I mean, that's number one.
Yeah.
Whatever business you're starting, you're thinking about or want to think about. I think goals are a really big deal because once you achieve them, you check it off, you feel great about that. So goals are really important. I think expanding your circle of people. I have
Mm-hmm.
found, you know, I go everywhere. I mean, not during COVID, but I'm saying,
Right.
normally I go to every event, I love people. So I like to know who's new in town, I love going to things. So I think expanding because you never know,
Mm-hmm.
somebody might be able to open a door for you. It
Right.
just takes that one little thing that might make all the difference in the world. So expanding your
Absolutely. So
circle
true.
really helps. The other thing is, I find really you have to have that, and that's perseverance. Perseverance is the key. You've got to keep going, never give up. never, never give up. That's the biggest key in running a business. Um, Trust me, I've made a lot of mistakes, and but I'll never do them again. The mistakes I've already made, it's okay to make mistakes, but just not doing it a second time. And I've made my share, but I'm not going to do them again. So it's really learning, progressing. Everything is a learning experience, everything. And I say that to my daughters now, don't worry, if they call me, this happened or that. I'm like, don't worry about it. It's an experience. You've learned from it. Now you can grow and you can move forward. Don't look back on the past. So I think for entrepreneurs that want to start a business, that is really key, to keep moving forward, learn everything you can. Don't worry if you make a little mistake. You're going to get over it and move forward. And so for me, perseverance and, keep learning is the big key.
And goals and checklists.
Yeah.
Goals and checklists are really important. I've always been a goal maker and checklist, always.
Yeah.
And I think those are really good things to have.
And also emailing yourself.
Yeah.
I'm constantly emailing myself, but it works. It really works.
I love it. I'm going to take that from you, Janelle, for
Yes.
sure.
Janelle, thank you so much for your time today. It has been such an honor to talk to you. And I just know that this episode is just going to awaken so many things in our listeners and get them excited to make goals for themselves and not be afraid.
I loved meeting you two. I loved being here. And for any woman out there, just do what you have to do and move forward. And I really appreciate you having me. And you girls, if you'll email me your addresses, I'll send you some products. Oh, and did you tell your viewers that we have a discount on GoodJanes today?
Oh my gosh, no, but please do. And we will also add it in our newsletter and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, for anybody that's watching, if you go to goodjanes.com, you can type in M as in Mary, ILN, like millennium, but shortened, women, WMN, podcast, PDESCST, 20%, and we'll give you 20% off any of the products.
Oh, wow.
That is so amazing.
Y'all put that on your website. I know everybody loves discounts.
Oh,
well, 20% is very generous, so thank you so much. That's amazing.
So awesome. I can't wait to use the products and for everyone listening to grab your products because this is awesome. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Thank y'all for having me.
Of course.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. To learn more about Janelle's incredible skincare line, GoodJanes, visit goodjanes.com.
We encourage you to continue on with the conversation. Keep being the strong, amazing woman that you are, and never forget to live inspired.
Until next time, MW.
Always love
Melissa
and Stephanie Kirkache.